Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? We're all doing very, very well. Now, if you're in America, or Australia, or seemingly anywhere else in the world, you'll be able to watch The Last Voyage of the Demeter tomorrow on opening day, August the 11th. Yeah, there's already been advance word, there's been preview screenings, and most of the reviews that I've seen have been yay. Of course, you got the obviously, massively 2 thumbs up review from Stephen King, who broke the official review embargo when he tweeted, "Oh, it's throat-rippingly good. It's like the glory days of old Hammer from the 50s and 60s and 70s. He loved it. But he tends to love most things, unless, of course, it's Kubrick's version of The Shining. But the embargo lifts sometime today, apparently. Now, this is a film I've been massively looking forward to. The Last Voyage of the Demeter is, of course, that chapter from Bram Stoker's original novel, Dracula, about the ship, the Demeter, akin to this thing on my shoulder here, transporting Dracula and his coffins and his earth from his home turf to England, arriving in the middle of a tempestuous storm after having slayed everybody in the crew, and only the ship's captain is lashed to the wheel, but dead, frozen, with Richter's fear on his face. And a huge wolf, which is actually Dracula, runs off the wreckage of the ship, the Demeter, onto the beach at Whitby, and then somehow makes its way down to Carfax Abbey and all that. But anyway, so you know that chapter, and it's only told in journal sort of style from the captain and the first mate of the Demeter leave stuff in the ship's log. And it's only been filmed a couple of times before. In Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula, you did see it there. You do see bits in Nosferatu, you do see bits in other movies, and of course, Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss did their loathsome, ridiculous BBC adaptation a good 2-3 years ago now, a 3-parter, which had the second part was set entirely on the Demeter. And although it was interesting, they did not do a good job of the overall story, I did not think. So it's long been mooted that it's going to be like a movie, a big, full-scale, lavish adaptation of this sort of hidden chapter of the Dracula saga. What really happened to the crew? How did Dracula get about his nefarious deeds whilst trapped on board an ocean-going schooner? Well, now you guys have got it. But us in the UK, we're not getting it. At least not yet. And what appears to have happened is that Entertainment One had the distribution deals theatrically for this movie. And Hasbro bought Entertainment One, or E1, way back in 2019. But now they're actually selling it again. They're selling it on to Lionsgate. And until that deal is fully signed, sealed, and, delivered for 500 million as well, 500 million of the King's English. And only when that's all completed will distribution deals sort of be rearranged. So the film, as it stands now, UK-wise, isn't coming out tomorrow. Shit. And I mean, really fucking shit. One of the big films I was looking forward to this year was this. And I wanted to see it on the big screen. It's my thing, it's horror. It's Dracula as a really ravenous, horrible beast. None of your suave, debonair account. None of your romantic swoonings. None of this reincarnation of a lost love. None of that shit. No, he's picking people off one by one in nighttime, ghastly, gory slayings, and they're all trapped on this bloody ship. It's Alien set at sea. And I know that analogy, we've seen plenty of Alien movies set at sea. And Alien itself is a seafaring, haunted house saga. It's a ship in space with a monster picking off the crew one by one, which is this chapter of Dracula. Now, in a weird turn of events, it isn't just the UK that seems to be suffering this, because Universal has the distribution rights in America. And although we've had trailers for this movie, and there are featurettes, behind the scenes, little junkets of stuff all over YouTube, well, they've pulled it from certain cinema chains. And I've got friends in America who've been saying, well, it's not playing in any of my cinemas within a 100-mile radius. And I'm like, well, what's Universal playing at there then? Do they not have any faith in this movie? Because this is the kicker. The reviews, okay, you know, we've all fallen prey to advanced preview screening reviews. People raving about stuff or damning stuff. The proof is in the pudding itself. But most of the reviews that I've seen, and I've seen a few, people who have sort of, without going to spoiler territory, have, you know, said, yep, it's great, really enjoyed it. It's creepy, it's gory, yeah, it's got everything you want. So it seems to me like they've got a bit of a winner on their hands, but Universal have just kind of sunk this one. Well, we're not really bothered about this. Oh, it's horror. We don't really bother with horror anymore. So I don't know what's going on there. Now, in the UK, because I was going to really go to town on this, with loads of reviews, if I liked it, that is. An initial review, then a full spoiler review, and then a review of Bear McCreary's score, one track of which is officially available on Amazon. I have it. It's on my little... I've got a playlist going of all the bits of music from Dracula films around this particular passage, the Demeter and the storm and the slayings at sea. And I've got that track as well. But you watch, everything else will be fine, but I'll get blocked by playing that track. Now, normally, if that film came out in the UK tomorrow, which it should have done, because the worldwide release date is 11th of August, that full score would have dropped at midnight tonight, and I would have had it at midnight tonight, because I love Bear McCreary's stuff, and I love Dracula film scores, and well, I love film scores in general, and I definitely want this, and I like that title track that he's put out there already. Now, I'm just hoping they still release that, but I've got a feeling they won't, because if the film's not out, they might not do it with that either. So I don't know. So in the UK, we're not sitting very pretty at the moment. If you're a Dracula fan, this is not really working out. I hope by the time I've done this video, because I'm kind of tempting fate by doing this, saying, oh, it's not coming out in the UK, and then I do this, I upload it, and then people go, oh, it's got a date now. Because me and a few other friends have been like frantically all around the UK looking at our local cinemas. It's not even listed as coming soon. We've had days of this. So where the hell is it? And of course, then I found out all about this deal that's going through, which will change things. Now, Lionsgate have actually said that this should change and hopefully improve distribution of all sorts of merch and movies and product in the UK and in Canada. So I don't know if that means that the film is not opening in Canada either. Now, if you're talking about Commonwealth countries, UK's Commonwealth, well, I already know it's opened in Australia, so it's there. Because right now in Australia, it is the 11th. So it's opening day already, and they've got it. So it's just us that haven't got it. Now, what this also means is that I'm an impatient little bastard, and I will not be dictated to by the minutiae of distribution deals of big corporations who make millions and cream it all off all of us anyway. No, I'll do exactly what they don't want you to do. I'll find a dodgy stream and I'll fucking watch it that way. I'm not waiting until they dictate, oh, well, now we can release it. Because the way I'm looking at it right now, they might not even release it theatrically at all. They probably will, and it probably will be fairly soon, but it's still going to be way after everybody else gets it, which kind of makes me doing a review of it rather redundant, does it? Does it not? So, it'll drop on some kind of dodgy site. And yeah, oh, the man of integrity, Mr. Kilt-Man himself, I don't give a fuck. If that's the only way I'm going to watch it, then that's the only way I'm going to watch it. And I will watch it that way, and I will report back on it. Hopefully it's a good enough copy. They usually are. That's what I've heard. Slightly interestingly and a bit more controversially, as if that wasn't controversial enough, this movie has been touted through Hollywood for a good few years now. That title, The Last Voyage of the Demeter, was actually a title from a screenplay by Gary Girani and another collaborator, another writer whose name I've forgotten, way back many years ago. And they touted it around Hollywood, and it is this exact story. And loads of people in Hollywood were like, oh, yeah, that sounds good. I'm interested in that, yeah, but no one actually, pardon the pun, bit at the time. And then, so he went, okay, well, began to hear rumours, this is Gary Giannani, that other people, producers, are interested in doing their own version of it, but using that title, which you've got right now with this movie, which is directed by Andre Ovredal from Troll Hunter and Scary Stories That We Tell in the Dark and The Autopsy of Jane Doe. And he sort of, I think, hang on, I wrote it down. The screenplay of this movie is by Bragi Schutt, that's Schutt, not shit, Schutt Jr. and Zach Olkowitz. But yeah, that's a screenplay based on a story by Bragi Schutt Jr. And but it bears massive comparison with what Gary Giannani originally wrote. So Gary Giannani was very unhappy with this. When he knew other people were looking at it and going to do this, he thought, look, I'm going to try and get this story out there first. So he and an illustrator called Stuart Sayer put together Death Ship, The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which is a comic strip in several parts. Now I think I've not got it. I will get it though. So it's a graphic novel now. And he put that out first. And because I've heard he said that, okay, well, I'm not getting any recognition for having the original story idea for this. Don't forget, it's all Bram Stoker's story. It's all from Dracula, the novel. But the creation of characters on board this ship and the introduction of a female character, which is in the movie, it's also in Gary Giannani's original screenplay and in Death Ship, the comic book adaptation of said screenplay. So he's saying, like, somewhere we've been shafted here because this is my story. And other producers and another director and other screenwriters have took that story on board, another pun there, and ran with it. And I'm not going to get any recognition for this. And it's actually my story that they're touting and that they've put together, but excluded me from it. So the last I heard him saying about this, Gary Giannani said, I'm going to try to get my original screenplay and I'm going to publish it in another format just before the film comes out, with the pure directive of like just comparing that screenplay that he had done initially with the film that comes out, in which case there could be litigation. The problem with this is that Dracula is in the public domain. So anybody, you, me, the dog that's lying over there, the husky, can make a version of Dracula or any version of chapters of characters. You can use them all. But if this film bears an uncanny resemblance to that screenplay, which Hollywood seemed to like, but at the time no one actually commit themselves to it, then yeah, there could be where there's blame to claim. And so this film, this story, seems to have a fair bit of baggage in the hold, and I don't just mean the vampiric kind. So it's a kind of unsavoury taste to this, isn't there? In the UK, we're not getting it at all. In America, you're getting a very spotty release of it. But reviews of it are good. Advance word is good. The embargo lifts at some point today, very soon, in fact, I think. So you get the official reviews. And they'll be on all the forums and the websites, and they'll be all over the place. There's loads of reviews on YouTube already, and they all seem favourable. But it's a film that me and many of you guys, because this is what we're passionate about. Horror movies, Dracula, the classic monsters. And again, Dracula as a ravenous beast like that, just slaying people left and right. And it does look great. I love the trailer. I think the trailers for this movie showed way too much. I'll be honest about that. Just way too much. And it seemed to be in linear fashion. So you're getting bits at the beginning, bits of the opening scenes, then the middling scenes, then the big finale, and then possibly clips from the climax. Who knows? Almost old school trailers from the 70s where the entire film was just pretty much condensed into 3.5 minutes. Well, that's what it felt like with this. But I was still smitten with it because it's exactly, my cup of tea, because I never drink wine. So that's the state of play at the moment. I mean, you guys will probably get back to me and say, oh, I've just watched it. Yeah, it's great, or it's shit, or it's whatever. Because wherever you are, it will probably be playing. But here, in my country, which once ruled the world, the British Empire, and now we can't even get a fucking film in the cinema screens, Oh, if you want your Barbie, that's there. Oh, the other wokey, maggoty infested shite. No, hang on. Dracula's the maggoty infested shite. Yeah, let's get that right. But all the other, just pop jazz bullshit like Meg 2, The Trench. Oh, God. Another film I was so massively looking forward to because I really enjoyed The Meg, as daft and as kiddie friendly as it is. But Meg 2 was just, what the hell? A last 40-minute dash of, big monster chaos and carnage everywhere. Although, again, still kid-friendly carnage. No, did not save a complete sunken clunker of a movie. But this one, this is Bear McCreary's title track. See, this is where I get in trouble now. Stoking, Bram Stokering, the fires of controversy even further by playing this ahead of time. Bear McCreary comes up with great stuff. Obviously, The Walking Dead and all of that. But he did the Rings of Power and, many other TV shows, of course. But he did Black Sails, and his variety, his verisimilitude is wonderful. His stylings are fantastic. He can build suspense and with great catchy motifs as well. So, there's a lovely violin section will come in as well, which is what you want. This is gothic. It's 19th century, it's Victoriana. So you've got like sort of gypsy Romanian fiddles playing at some point. So folks, I don't know where we're going to go with this. If I'm reduced to watching a shitty, lopsided, multilingual subtitled version with gambling ads all over it as well, then I won't be a happy chap. But that might be all I've got left. And let's just hope that in this day and age of no physical media coming out, that we actually do get, a Blu-ray and a 4K release of this movie. You want to get people back into cinemas after the pandemic. This is a bit of a shoddy way of doing it. Oh yeah, I'm not part of this big deal. Hasbro and Lionsgate and I don't understand it. I don't care. They made the film. You had the release date, put the fucking film out. You're not being delayed by any writers or actors strike. That's not the issue at all. And there's no pandemic in the way. There's these violins, I promised you. Well, there's a washing machine in the background there. Mournful strings. You've got the bombastic sort of surging, relentless attack and the ship going through the waves, storm, lightning, dun, dun, dun. You've got all that Sturm and Drang. And then you get all this lyrical, forlorn melancholia. Because we know how the film's going to end as well. Spoilers, Dracula gets away. They don't kill Dracula at the end of this. I'll tell you what, if they do, you'll be like, hey, you could do that. Oh no, well, our version is is a fully rounded story, and yeah, we killed Dracula in this one. They might do. Anguish, torment, and pain, which is exactly what I feel, and frustration, because I would have been there tomorrow morning to watch that, and then scurry off to the pub for a couple of post-movie whiskies, and then I'd have done a quick non-spoiler video, and then I'd have come back the next day after gathering my thoughts and maybe watching it again with a big, full-blown, full-blooded, full-throttle spoiler-rife review. So folks, watch this space. You guys that watch this space while you guys in other territories can go and watch the film itself, and then you can all come back and review it for me. Shit. Anyway, folks, I have been always shall be Kilt-Man. Please, in the meantime, in this ever frustrating carbuncle of an in-between time, please keep it Celtic, keep it Celtic, and I am going to see you all. And I saw someone saying, Oh, they just threw a girl stowaway in there. Oh, that's just makes it stupid. They know that would never happen. It happened in King Kong. King Kong, the 76 remake, Jessica Lange, she washes up in a life raft. And then fate introduces her to a great big hairy ape. Folks, enjoy The Last Voyage of the Demeter.